All right, let's analyze one peculiar issue in China. You know, CNN calls its segment The Good Stuff. That's where they show acts of kindness in America, the stuff of good neighborliness, the acts of good Samaritans. But are those types a dying breed? I certainly hope not. But in China, reports say helping others, especially involving the middle-aged or senior citizens, could get you in serious trouble. Then again, they may simply be indifferent. Hence, that breed may indeed be dying in the Middle Kingdom. Well, here's one such case from the Southern Metropolis Daily. A 35-year-old woman fainted while walking out of a subway station in Shenzhen, Guangdong province. Surveillance video shows that Yang Ya passed out on the ground and was trying to reach out for help. Liang lay there for close to an hour before an ambulance arrived. While waiting for the ambulance, some pedestrians and subway employees came over to check on her, but none of them administered first aid. Liang died soon after she was sent to the hospital. You know what? That's cruel. Downright cruel. Utterly pathetic. CZNews.com reports on another incident, but this time a potential Good Samaritan covered his bases before extending help. This too happened in Shenzhen, by the way. A driver saw what appeared to be a drunk man fall on the road. The driver said he wanted to help. But before doing so, he turned on the voice recorder on his cell phone. He said he did it to prove that he never ran over the man. The driver then took the man to the hospital. Now, when the drunk man's wife arrived at the hospital, the first thing she asked was whether the driver ran over her husband. Luckily, the drunk man told the truth. True. Lucky indeed. But the Shanghai Daily reports on an incident where the Good Samaritan turned out to be the culprit. At least, that's what the court ruled. A court in Nanjing has ordered the Good Samaritan to pay for a sizable portion of an old woman's hospital bills. That's because the judge said, if you didn't push the woman, why did you help her? Prosecutors said the man pushed the old woman at a bus stop. He was ordered to pay the equivalent of $7,200. You know what? With a judge like that, who needs enemies? Now, Dahe.com provides more disturbing examples. In 2008, a 20-year-old man named Zhang Heng saw an old man on the ground and helped him up. The old man then grabbed Zhang and said Zhang ran over him. Many witnesses said that Zhang was being falsely accused, but no one agreed to a written testimony. Then there's a case of a 2-year-old girl who was ignored by passers-by as she lay injured after being run over twice. Doctors had declared her brain dead. Footage from a surveillance camera showed her walking into a hardware in Foshan, Guangdong province. Reports said after being run over, 3 people chose to ignore her. The girl was then run over by a truck. The riders of 4 electric bicycles, a tricycle, and 3 pedestrians reportedly all chose to ignore her, and no one at the shop close to the scene came to her aid. It's extremely disheartening to hear of these stories. Believe me, there are too many cases to discuss on air right now. Well, this could be the offshoot of a world increasingly obsessed with the me culture. Dog eat dog. How sad. And that's today's national news. But when we return, around the world, a look at China's global footprint.